10 seconds remaining. Escape Gaming's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another game here in the group stages of the International 2016. We've got LGD-Gaming this time up against Escape Gaming. I'm ODPixel, and I'm, of course, once again joined by Draskell. These two teams, I'm sure, you guys at home, you should be following the games. We've already seen them perform today. LGD, spoilers, warning, spoilers, but you don't want to hear spoilers. Close your lug holes. LGD, of course, first game of the day. They went up against OG. They look pretty good. It was a great series. I do recommend you go and watch it. Was 1-1, and then Escape Gaming, they just had a bit of fun with Na'Vi, and again, 1-1. But two very different series, arguably at very two different levels.
Yeah.
And now we're going to see them clash. LGD from arguably the higher end and Escape Gaming from the lower end. It could be brutal, but it also could be brilliant if Sind and the boys pull this off.
I feel like Escape are so draft reliant in the games that I see them play. Like when they were up against Na'Vi, for example, the second game I feel was just an insane outdraft by Na'Vi, and they kind of got rolled over in 15-20 minutes. But if Escape can get the heroes that match up well against LGD, then I think they can kind of hold their own. But obviously going into this, you have to look at LGD. People were maybe underestimating them a bit, of course, because Sepp wasn't able to attain his visa, and they're using Banana instead. But Banana's a guy who played on a TI winning team. This guy's not bad at the game
and
at
then
all.
He played some Japanese RPG online shit, and now he's back and he's still good.
Yeah, he's still very good.
He didn't need to keep playing Dota. He's still brilliant. Oh, hey, Kidoku. Escape Gaming, they see Elder Titan and Axe. These are heroes that you would say probably kind of good against a Huskar. Escape Gaming, they don't care. They pick it anyway. Is this bold or is this stupid?
I think it's more a matter of where they think the Axe is going as to why they can just immediately snap pick the Huskar. And LGD probably has some kind of idea that they don't want to put the Axe directly against the Huskar lane. Yeah. Because most of the stuff that we've been seeing at TI when Axe is picked, the majority of it is like this aggressive dual off lane they put against the safe lane to pressure. But I don't know if LGD are going to run it that way. I think they want to make sure that the Axe gets his Blink Dagger early and he can kind of have the impact in fights against the Dazzle that you want, which is get in, prevent Shallow Grave from being that saving grace for a Huskar, and just get the kill and move on. So I do think that the pick is a little bit risky, but Escape has something in mind. They want to play a fast tempo game. Huskar allows you to group up very early around the Dazzle and kind of force fights. And maybe they feel that the 5-man game is the best game to play. Otherwise, LGD might be able to split you apart in the map and might just outplay you in other places. So maybe that's the game plan they have going in here.
Escape Gaming, they're not going to let anything else nasty come out against the Huskar. They do ban that AA, make sure LGD can't get their hands on arguably another hero that can really mess with the composition that Escape Gaming are trying to run. Beastmaster Slardar bans coming out from LGD Gaming. Escape Gaming, let's see what they want to take away. Anything else that... what else could put a bit of a spanner into the works of the draft that Escape Gaming are coming out? What are they worried about LGD being able to do?
Well, any high physical damage is always going to be a little bit of a concern against Huskar. There are even heroes like going back when Huskar was really broken, you'd see a lot of Wind Ranger because it's very good at just being able to dodge all the auto attacks after a life break. You can Shackle, which is, I would say nowadays, fairly reliable disable because a lot of people are just straight up better at the hero. But we haven't seen too much of it. I actually don't think it's been picked or banned so far at TI6, at least during the wild card and the group stages. But there's a lot of stuff. Like Ricky is good, obviously banned this game. Ursa's strong. Lifestealer can be strong. Just anything that is good at getting in and dealing good physical damage or disable against Huskar. And because AA is already banned, he's the only hero in the game who stops regeneration. And for obvious reasons against Dazzle and Huskar, the hero counters them both. So it makes plenty of sense to take that one out.
One hero that we do see people pick up against it, but arguably even though on paper it's strong, it doesn't always seem to be that amazing, is the Timbersaw. Is there a chance we're going to see, because maybe's Timbersaw was pretty scary. We just saw in a series against OG, he was all over the place and causing so much havoc.
Can be very good, that's true. And the damage output and the mobility of the hero is what makes it scary for a Huskar to play against. And then Escape would also have to need to pick Disable, Because Beast and Slardar are taken out, there's no Ricky, Batrider, Ogre. These are the most common disabling heroes that we're kind of seeing throughout the first day of the group stages here at TI. So it's just protecting, I think, more than anything else if they were going to pick up a Timber Saw, which obviously they can still do. There's nothing stopping them from picking a Timber.
Absolutely.
They would be lacking disables a little bit, but they do have Shadow Demon, Elder Titan. That setup is not really that hard to manage. You can get the Stomp after the disruption and whatnot. So. All right, this is just all in making the Huskar have the best possible situation that he can.
And this is a draft, I believe this is the same draft that EG ran earlier. I believe they had an IO Dazzle Huskar. They managed to get these 3 heroes through, and they actually lost the first game when they managed to do this draft to EG. So it didn't work for them. Since if it's going to work out for them.
Did they put the Huskar mid that game? Or did they
it
put
was
the
a Sumail Huskar.
Okay.
It was a Sumail Huskar.
Because I was kind of assuming after seeing these 3 heroes that it would be Huskar middle.
So you think that they'll go what, Era? And
Era would probably play Huskar
with the IO.
Yeah,
but would he do it in the mid lane? With the
that's I think the strongest place to put it, because then it's the hardest to counter in lane, and sometimes like getting heroes that are good against Huskar in lane is very difficult, and then plus you're giving him like the IO is going to be able to get runes. You know, they could even honestly go back for something like well, they need a Quake for hero, right? And he normally plays stuff that just farms, so maybe they just go for Invoker again. I feel like it still fits. Feel like they need something that's going to be able to contribute a little bit more to the push. The 5-man becomes scarier because you just have a lot more damage output. And once again, we're seeing the Dro also kind of make it in. My only reservation about Dro for Escape right now is the fact that I think that the same person plays both heroes, like the Huskar and the Dro, so that might be a reason why they don't pick it.
Okay.
But I'm kind of debating between those two. Because I think they both kind of fit the game plan. You can see that Escape have a very clear-cut idea of what they want.
Now, going back a bit, I remember the days of Yapzor Enigma in Dream League. He was a bit of a beast on this hero, wasn't he?
He's very, very good, but this is an extremely hard Enigma game. Elder Titan is probably like one of the best, if not the best hero at stopping a black hole from ever being
because you can do it from a mile off.
But yeah, but that's obvious to pretty much anybody who plays Enigma. They know that. But the reason why they pick the hero is because they want a mech carrier. They want something that can contribute more to the death ball. Again, this is a 5-man lineup. They want the 5-man. LGD are obviously going to take out the Invoker because they know Quickness hero is the last one to be picked.
And I guess you said for the mech, it's arguably one of the fastest heroes to get it as well. You're going to get it before anyone.
He will absolutely get it the fastest of any hero who goes to the jungle. And they also know that there's a very low likelihood that the jungle is going to be contested this game because of the heroes that LGD have. Like, nobody is going to be walking around in the jungle trying to stop Enigma. Like, maybe Elder Titan, depending on how they lane it. But even then, I feel like Yapzor is going to be able to have a good time. He gets his quick mech timing. You know, maybe goes straight into Greaves. I don't think Blink is the item. I think they just want to 5-man and kill towers and just take the map away from LGD as fast as they can. Like, this is going to be a very quick tempo game for Escape.
Final ban from Escape Gaming, and I guess LGD, what they are still looking for maybes here in the mid lane.
Yeah.
So
indeed.
It will question if
I wouldn't actually hate. I wouldn't hate Templar Assassin.
Would you maybe wonder if they do go for something like the Alchemist?
Alch is really hard to play this game. You don't want to play.
You don't want to play against Huskar. The Huskar would just trash it early.
Yeah. If the Huskar is safe lane, then potentially you could get away with running a mid, and I suppose there's still some wiggle room for Escape in what they want to do. And the other thing too that we kind of forgot to mention is, because of the fact that they have IO Enigma Dazzle, it's kind of like who's actually playing the Wisp.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Who's actually playing the Wisp?
Enigma. I guess this is more likely to be Kezu.
Is it Kezu Enigma?
Kezu Enigma, yeah. So I guess what you're going to have is what? Kezu avoiding the off lane, going straight into the jungle, Io backing up Huskar in the mid lane, and then Sind on the Dazzle backing up Koifer in the same lane. Something like that. 2-2-1. And just avoiding the lane where LGD are going to have a pretty beefy try.
It is possible. Okay, so they're just going to go with the classic, the Era Tiny. So it does mean that Quakefa is going to be playing Huskar, right?
I feel like we haven't seen that.
I have not seen him play it personally. I mean, the guy's obviously skilled, so he can play any hero that you put him on. But normally, Escape are the type of team that put Quakefa on the hero that farms a lot. Like, even when he plays Queen, he plays a farm-oriented style.
I mean, you know, arguably coming into this kind of a matchup, you could have argued that Escape Gaming do need to do something that's a little bit, you know, something that LGD aren't going to necessarily expect. And this is, yeah, the fact that they're running both the Huskar and the Tiny, you would say Era's more likely to be playing the Tiny. You'd say it's just
he has
role
much more
team.
experience with the IO Tiny, I think, than Quakeva does, so it makes the most sense to me. So LGD going to give maybe the Queen of Pain. Obviously, a comfort zone pick for him. Oh no, they are going to put Era.
Tiny.
Okay, so that one I was not expecting. I really thought that Era would play Tiny.
I mean, so Kezu's definitely, but yeah, he's playing.
He's definitely Enigma.
And Yap's definitely on the IO. I mean, I'd love to see Cinder and IO. I
don't think he's going to play IO.
Yes, unfortunately not. It would be great for. Yeah,
that's one of those heroes that you actually have to play a lot in order to be good at, and I don't think I've ever seen Sin. Like, I watch a stream fairly often. Don't tell him I said that. Don't tell him I said that. But I don't think I've ever seen him.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen him play Wisp.
No.
So.
No.
No, but I
he's been playing Dazzle a lot, so yeah.
All things considered, like on paper, I would say LGD most of the time just take this 2-0, but I like the approach that Escape are taking. Okay. Because they're playing the approach of, we're going to go for 5-man Dota. You know, Quakeva manages to get a relatively quick blink. We can get one pick off. We immediately translate that into towers. We can directly translate every single kill that we get into objectives, and I feel like that's super important against a team that you feel is better than you. And I think that Cinder in his mind, like, you got to have confidence in your own team, but LGD are insanely good.
Prepare for battle.
Blink daggers. 2.
By 25 minutes?
Oh. Roshan kills.
I'd say 2, yeah. 2.
We're going to go Stompy. 3. Play with the first triple kill. Let's go with Era. We'll believe in Escape Gaming for that, but I'm going to believe in Aggressive and his farming potential on the Morphling. And ladies and gentlemen, here we have it. Game 1 of the 2-game series. Of course, here in the group stages, we have got Escape Gaming up against LGD. Let's have a look who's on what, just to familiarize ourselves with the team. On the side of LGD, Aggressive will be on the Morphling. Xiao 8, the director himself, will be directing that axe. MMY on Shadow Demon once again. We saw him on this hero early against OG. Banana, man stepping in, of course, for September. There's unavailability this TI because of the visa issues. He'll be on Elder Titan and maybe be the flashy man on that Quap. Kezu over on the side of Escape Gaming running the off-lane Enigma to start off with. Quakeva. Tiny, Cinder backing him up on the Dazzle. He's going to have, going to be a tough game again. I feel like every game we see Cinder on a Dazzle, he always has an axe breathing down his neck, and it's going to happen once again, of course, against LGT here. Yapzor, Io, and Era on the Husker. So there are a lot of comfort picks from both teams, it feels like. I mean, Yapzor, that's certainly something that he can impress us on.
Oh, I think so. They always give him like position 4 or 5 heroes that have some kind of impact, and obviously Cinderin takes the least amount of farm on Escape. So that's why I just always assume that he's going to be playing Dazzle. And if you actually think about the same logic that we applied there, it makes more sense that Quakeva plays Tiny because he's the one who wants to get more farm, generally.
Yes, I guess other than the
Tiny actually carries gold, I think, much better than Huskar past like 30 minutes. So it does make sense to some degree. I just thought that they wanted the comfortability of having Era on a hero that he's literally played like hundreds of times in competitive games. So either way, we are going to see the IO +1 mid, but Gank coming in here level 1.
Quakeva, he's going to need a little bit of help. He has got Yapzor indeed on the high ground. Has the bottle and the tether. So indeed, MMY and Banana unable to chase him down. I'll force him out of the lane for a bit, allow maybe a little bit of space to start to get a bit of an edge on the CS with the Quap. And looking at the side lanes, so Xiao, of course, at the moment is in the jungle, leaving Aggressive on his own on this top lane against this off lane Void. So this kind of matchup, both heroes going to farm, or is it anyone?
Right? You said Void.
God damn it! I'm used to Kezu playing Void every game yesterday. Yes, sorry. It's purple, same hero. Enigma. How's this hero going to match up against Aggressive with Morphling on the top lane?
Well, the nice thing about Enigma is you can deny every single range creep pretty much. Yeah. So you just keep the tower pretty much where it is right now. You deny farm from Aggressive. He's always going to be farming in an uncomfortable position, assuming the supports aren't pulling. So every time that LGD make a rotation, Kezu's going to be able to pull the lane more or less back to his tower, get the farm that he's looking for. And worst case scenario, he doesn't get the farm that he needs in lane. He rotates to the jungle for like 5 minutes, and he's going to have a mech. So I think it's a pretty good solution. Slows down Aggressive's pace a little bit. Also keep in mind that the range creep is heavily weighted nowadays. Oh, Yapzor. Oh, God, maybe.
Strong for here, looking for Yapzor. Is unable to finish it off, and now Quakeva looking to come in, get the XP in time to level up to 2, but the top damage isn't enough, and maybe takes the first blood. Quakeva will be able to punish it.
He got baited by the Fairy Fire so hard there. That was not checking items right there from Yapzor. He wanted to keep maybe around, so he walks back in, assuming that the toss is going to be enough to get the kill. Otherwise, there's no way he runs back in, because maybe he was already fully committed, and it's only a level 1 blink. The other reason is, like, maybe he goes in because he knows that Quakeva didn't hit 2 until after the dive had already commenced. So I see a haste turn here on MMY, but I don't think he's going to be able to kill Kezu.
No, he's playing it very safe, Kezu, just keeping himself in the tree line. unable the MMY to close across that lane. And yeah, the mid lane kills the side. CS looking for the side of LGD and maybe himself on the Quap a little bit better. A little bit, quite a bit. 13 for 6 against Quake for 6 for 2. Bottom lane, Syndra and an error. They don't care about tier 1s, they're heading straight past it. Looking to force Banana out of the lane. He's of course just trying to soak up the XP, and he's actually getting quite a bit. I mean, Banana, before the 3-minute mark, he has hit the level 3, so Escape Gaming unable to really zone the Elder Titan straight out of the lane.
Well, they don't really have a disable between the two of them, and I don't think that Syndarin's the type of person who's going to level Poison Touch unless it guarantees a kill.
Mid lane, Quafer. Depending on maybe did have a toss, but
the stun positioning was pretty awkward. Yeah. Like, you want maybe to be not standing on the creep wave, that way you guarantee the toss is going to hit him and not something else, so that's why Quakefoot just didn't expend the mana. But it does force him back, which is fine.
Of course, whilst this is all going on, Xiao8 just getting absolutely all the space he needs in the jungle.
Dude, he's level 5 at 3.5 minutes. Good lord. But this is kind of what I was saying. LGD aren't the team who run the aggressive axe. They run the axe in the way that you know you're going to be able to get a lot out of your laning phase. And it's kind of like playing against a jungle beast. Like, you're just going to win the laning phase due to getting more farm.
Oh. Talking about farm as well, looking back to this top lane, Kezu, he's certainly not been able to keep on par with this Morphling. It's the CS just hasn't been there. I mean, the denies, obviously, as you said, he's been able to take a little bit away from aggressive, but farm-wise, it's not going to be as quick as if he had gone straight to the jungle.
The thing that's kind of terrifying is aggressive is still farming better than Era.
Yeah.
And there's not an Enigma sitting in his lane guaranteed denying creeps. It's just a little bit strange, honestly. I suppose you could argue that Escape are putting more emphasis on pressuring the tower non-stop. Like, it's already below half LGD's offlane tier 1. And in regards to value, that tower holds more value than the Radiant tier 1 offlane. So it makes sense that they want to try to get it down as soon as possible. Maybe rotate Syndarin towards top to get him some levels, and then Kezu can just go farm the woods. It's a pretty decent plan for them, at least, to make sure that everyone's getting what they need before they start 5-manning.
TP coming in mid, Xiao8. Heading it up, allowing maybe to...
Did they just...
region his bottle.
Top tower is under attack.
I want to make a go for it here, Xiao8 and MMY.
I mean, MMY is level 2. Xiao8's level 6 at 5 minutes. Alright, let's go.
Let's see if they're ready for this Synd. Already deciding to tank a couple of tower hits. MMY, can he close the gap? He just needs to get a disruption off and then they can try for a kill.
Hello? MMY?
He decides to punch a creep in the face instead.
That had to have been a misclick, or he lagged or something. I don't know. That was really weird.
A little bit off mark there.
Because he was in range to disrupt either target there, and he just didn't cast a spell, so I don't know what that was. We'll call it interesting plays.
Mid lane as well, worth noting, we saw at the start, obviously Quakefoot was falling behind, but he's totally closed the gap. Now ahead of maybe. That's the backup of Yapzor, and as we can see, maybe he's just got to be so careful with his positioning. Getting caught out by a combo on the 700 HP Queen of Pain could spell a little bit of a disaster for your life.
I mean, the thing to keep in mind for the IO Tiny is it's not always about how well they do in lane. It's more about the fact that they're always going to have jungle stacks to fall back on. Maybe really wants this rune.
Ah, yes. Oh, that is tasty.
He might kill Yapzor.
Oh my! What? I think LGD's mice might be broken.
That was
check, please.
That was supposed to be a dead wisp. There's no way that Yapzor is supposed to be alive right now.
Yapzor, Mindbender.
I mean, that was a Chris Angel right there. Wave. Some Jedi mind tricks going on or something, I'm sure.
Well, maybe they just got a bit of lag, you know?
Dude, I don't know what's going on, but LGD are not playing the same level of Dota that I just watched them play in the first
I was going to say, this is a team that took down OG in a match. They not a team that was messing up earlier.
Well, they still are getting the farm advantage at the very least on the two highest cores. Like, obviously, Xiao8's doing well. Aggressive has been left alone in his lane for at least a little while now, and Kezu, he's got Black Hole available.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't really have the level of farm that you would normally see on an Enigma at this stage in the game, just due to the fact that he's not able to go to the woods.
What does Quakefoot pick up in this position anyway, to kind of fulfill the role that he's going for? Does he get the early blink,
I think it's like blink drums. Blink drums seems really good for me in this game. Yeah, because you want to be the hero who's starting the fight. And like we've mentioned, it's all about getting picks and translating that into objectives with this kind of lineup. I mean, sure, you're always going to have good late game when you have the IO Tiny. Well, I might have to hold that thought.
Yep.
Kezu.
Hunting Kezu, they know he's gone to the side to farm this up. Xiao he'll turn the farm into his own.
Is under attack.
Kezu's able to avoid potential death though as he heads towards the south.
Yeah.
He's got the back of the Cinder, the boys, Quaker and Yapsor. Just able to finish off their stack. Easy bit of gold there for the Tiny.
But yeah, I think Drum's Blink is really solid. Because then, if you get like one kill, I don't think LGD can defend a tower ever 4v5, especially against Enigma. You know, assuming Kezu is able to recover his early game farm and get to his mech, and they just start like death falling with level 4 demonic conversions and the sustain they have between the IO and the Dazzle with the mech, it's extremely hard for LGD to just engage into that straight up. So with them, it's more about the blink timing. And speaking of, Xiao 8 sitting at almost 2,000 gold. He's level 8 at 8 minutes, and he has the highest CS in the game. This is going to be the guy who's going to throw the wrench into the plan of escape. Because if his blink timing comes out in the next like minute or so, which it should, then he can be the one who causes a huge amount of problems.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Well, Escape Gaming doing their best to take this mid tower. We'll see what LGD have to do in response. Looking for the stomp. It's going to catch out Error. Spiller as well, straight down the middle of Escape Gaming. Is it going to clip onto anyone though? So Escape Gaming, keeping themselves strong, they were able to finish off the tower. Moving past it. Koifa just seeing if he can fend them off. Make sure there's no chance for a deny. And that is indeed going to be the case. Koifa trying to go for the last touch, but Kezu says, stop messing around, mate. I'll take that. Enigma able to get himself a bit of bonus gold into the bank, but LGD unable to do anything about that. I mean, as you said, Xiao, it's blink dagger timing. It's going to come soon, but you can't help but feel if he did have the blink dagger then, it could have been a bit of a different story.
They would have been able to stop that, yeah. Because the thing you have to keep in mind is if Xiao 8 lands a good call, the grave doesn't matter. And they have to like either black hole him to stop the Culling Blade from coming out, and then you also have to worry about Earth Splitter and Queen of Pain damage follow-up, and you know, even Aggressive can TP in and throw out a wave for him. The amount of damage follow-up that LGD has for a blink call initiation is ridiculous. And there's not really that much on Escape that's going to be able to stop it, which is why they're so heavily predicated around just 5-man. They want the concave around the tower. They want the positioning to make LGD come to them so they can start to fight properly.
And who, of course, would be the perfect target to receive Xiao 8's blink reveal? It would indeed be Cinderin.
Well, we did talk about how Cinderin would eventually rotate to that lane to get some EXP and levels, and it's just LGD realizing that game plan and just picking him off. But it's the best hero to die, honestly.
It really is.
A position 5 Dazzle is not really worth that much. Yeah. And revealing the blink dagger in that manner, probably not the most devastating effect that it could have had.
Shout out to Sin's next level strats there.
Man, this game would have been so different if Xiao 8 had blink for mid. Oh my god. That would have been almost a disaster, I think, for Escape.
On top lane, looks to be Escape Gaming maybe grouping up, trying to see if they can get a tier 1 down on this lane as well. Just keeping the momentum going. They've already obviously managed to take down mid. They're going to go for the top. They know that the blink dagger's there now on Xiao 8, so they should be prepared for it. And Kezu, of course, does have that black hole still ready and waiting. Yet to see him use it. And is closing in on the money for the completed mechanism. Tiny, quite fun. Blink dagger's now done. Actually just going to go for a solo dust and start to move his way up the lane. So he's going to be there ready with the counter initiation if LGD do jump in. If that is, of course, if Koifa does head that way.
They can actually burst the Axe with this team. Like a tiny combo and Huskar damage is more than enough. And heck, even if you get a good Shadow Wave on him, he can die. It's one of the things where Axe and Dazzle kind of counter each other. Oh, he wants his kills. He can get it. Oh, not enough damage.
That's a bold attempt there from Koifa, trying to combo down the Morphling.
At least I think he'll get it, right?
Yeah, he's cool. He knows he's not got enough punch in him. So getting the deny mid. And by the looks of it, nearly taking the tower top. LGD, they've still got something to say about it though. Banana and MMY doing their best to hold back Escape Gaming.
Yeah, but look at LGD's ward coverage. They're going to see Quakefoot making his way up here. They know exactly what they're getting into.
And the question is, do they want to get into this, or do they just let this one go?
They have the items they need, but the ward just spotted out Xiao 8 in the trees, so they know, oh god, this could be so bad if he gets caught.
Oh, Quakefoot not quite quick enough there with the catch.
That was so close. If they killed Xiao 8 there, that's a free tower. There's no way LGD defend if the Axe is dead. But I mean, even just that ward placement in and of itself kind of just secured this tower for them. Because if LGD can't get the proper initiation with the axe, then you can't take the fight anymore. You need the call. Without the call, you're not going to get the burst damage from the queen in without losing something, and it's just too big of a risk for LGD to want to take right now. Considering the fact that, you know, the Morphling doesn't even have his first item yet, so he still needs Lincolns before I think he wants to come to fights, and they're just going to make that sacrifice, and that's all just due to the warding. So really well done there from Escape.
Xiao trying to work towards his blade mail. I swear, if we got anything big coming out, did that mech get done? Yeah, he's got the money now, Kezu, so mech's on its way, ready for the next bit of action, and looks to be down on the bottom lane, or at least Kezu's just ready to back up Error in case anyone makes a jump. Lots of pings up on the top. There's still 4 heroes on LGD up here, keeping their eyes on both Koifa and Yapso, but Yapso's out. Koifa, he's going to follow suit as well, just in time before any kind of stomp comes through. Now this is 13 minutes in. You know, we said indeed this could be quite a test for Escape Gaming, but they seem to be holding themselves pretty well so far.
They have a very good game plan, and that's why I was mentioning during the draft how important it is for Escape to get the plan that they want. Because they're able to execute as long as their heroes are the picks that they need to enforce their style of play, which I still feel like their best attribute is their ability to 5-man and understanding what is worth and what is not worth.
Bottom lane is indeed Escape Gaming keeping to this plan.
And
now this is going to be much harder to get away with.
This is going to be the real test.
They don't have the aggressive vision that they had when they were pushing the tier 1 top, and this tower is also much harder to fight around just due to its enclosed nature. So LGD already here in force.
Of course, this movement being spotted out.
Here we go.
Yeah, they know that they're there, and now Escape Gaming, they'll know that they know.
Yeah, that's going to get dewarded instantly.
Yeah.
And as soon as that ward goes down, all of a sudden this tower push becomes a heck of a lot scarier. They might get it though. They're just not gonna. They're just like moving forward and positioning in a way that it forces LGD to move further away. And as long as they're far away, they can't deward properly. It just kind of is a bad thing that Cinderin doesn't have any sentries on him right now. Or no, he does. He's just not gonna drop it yet. Okay. So now they can actually deward that if they want, but looks like LGD will get there first.
Well, they get the tower, and they're not punished for it at all.
I mean, during that time, maybe an aggressive, we're both split farming. So it's not as if LGD were just getting nothing out of that. They're still waiting for the Morph to finish his first item, I suppose, though.
There we go, looks to burst down Koifa, jumping in immediately. Koifa tosses back aggressive. Can he live here? Oh, the poison's going to bring him down low. Is it going to be quite low enough? No, Cinderin's there with the heals.
They even relocate, okay.
Oh, man.
They do not want that Tiny to die.
Nope.
It's worth it, though, because they haven't really used the relocate in any other fashion anyway, you know? They're not relocating in to get a kill or relocating back to get out of a bad situation. But no, Escape are sticking to their game plan. They know what they need to accomplish, and they're doing it well. The only thing that was a bit surprising was the fact that they didn't try to deward the cliff, even though it was already obvious that LGD had a sentry. But it doesn't matter, because they still got the tower. So because they got the tower,
they don't need that.
They don't need the
vision.
ward. Yeah, they don't need the ward anymore.
They're not going to be over there anytime soon. See where they go with this though. Smoked up, Escape Gaming, ready to move as a 5-man.
LGD were anticipating that was a Roche smoke, I guess, because Banana's down there throwing out spirits and whatnot.
Pings down on the bottom. Maybe wanting to try and look for
they're gonna see LGD.
Here we go, Koifa leading the way. Xiao caught out immediately. Koifa jumps in with a combo. Xiao pops the blade mount. Defensive disruption from MY, helping him out for the time being. Gets the blink out thanks to the disruption. Xiao's out with the toss forward. In comes Error. Delivered by Koifa's delivery service. Error jumps in. They'll find the kill onto the axe. That will be that. They get themselves a kill.
They can actually... rushing might be a bit hard, but they can at least force some kind of reaction out of LGD. I mean, the Elder Titan still being alive means that Banana throws a spirit into the pit and, you know, your Roshan just gets delayed.
It looks like Koifa's looking for the Elder Titan. You know, he knows that the spirit's coming out from this area, and he knows that a jump in and a combo could do it. A couple of punches and you're bringing a Banana down.
You're just looking at where the spirit's returning to, so they have a better idea of where he's standing.
Yeah. I think Koifa's found him.
Yeah,
he knows where he is. Banana's going for the stomp. He's not going to be allowed to do it. Koifa jumping in with the combo. One more pat to the back and Banana's down.
Man, this is... Escape are actually playing this so well.
Let's see if Eric can get away with this, though. Shadow Demon started to come across. MMY coming out the poison, trying to rustle the jimmies of Error. The rest of LGD is moving in as well. and he finished this one off. He's still got the backup of the team. Quake was there. It's just got an Enigma illusion coming in, and it's the space that they needed, and they've got it. Era finishes off Roshan, picks up the Aegis.
Dire's top tower.
And there LGD backing off, not wanting to have any part in this fight.
And they are going to be trading a tier 2 middle lane for that Roshan, so the Morphling's still the highest farmed hero in the game. The high ground push is really going to be, I think, what determines if Escape are going to be able to kind of round this one out. Because you're pushing into Elder Titan, there's a lot of deep push, there's a Blink Axe Call initiation, and Dazzle's not really incredibly helpful against that when you get dunked, so there is still one more really hard push for Escape to make, and that's going to be to see if they can breach the tier 3s.
Let's see what they can achieve here. Quake's just picked up the Shadow Blade, he's heading into the jungle. He's going to get eyes onto Aggressive, but again, unlikely that he can burst this down unless the Agi starts to come out. Aggressive, he's pretty strong at the moment. He'll go for the combo. It's not going to be enough. Blinking away, but again, just keeping LGD on their toes and allowing Escape Gaming to have the space to continue this momentum that they've found so far this game. And Era sits there on the sidelines, pummeling away with a newly found Dragon Lance. He'll be able to find another tier 2. Only one outer tower standing now for LGD on the top lane as Escape Gaming continue to maintain superior control of the map. Koifa on the bottom lane knows maybe he's gone for a little bit of a split push. Can he find him? Let's see if maybe feels himself. How safe is this Quap going to play?
I mean, he is terrified right now. He does not want to come out of the trees.
They can smell each other.
But this is also one of the strengths that the Tiny gives you with this build when you have the Blink Shadow Blade is when you're off map, the split push heroes, especially the Queen of Pain, never feel safe. Yeah. So you can't really apply as much pressure as you want to on these heroes that have natural mobility. Oh.
I mean, yeah, maybe he's just soaking up the XP at this point.
He sees Zhao Wei, but he can't get this kill. He's way too tanky.
And maybe he's not going to reveal himself.
There's a reload, though. If they reload on him, they can kill him.
There we go. The setup with the combo onto Zhao Wei. Tries to get the call off, and he will, but here's Era turning over the help of Yap, so they jump in onto the axe. They'll take down Zhao Wei. And the rest of LGD maybe contemplating coming along to help. There's the full 4-man of them coming over to this area, but Yapso and Era straight back out with a relocate up to the top lane, and Quaifa's back to base. And again, it just feels like Escape Gaming are playing the better game of Dota so far.
Their plan is just really, really strong. Like, it just showcases there, even the tankiest hero on the side of LGD, outside of the Morphling, they can still burst him down with just an Avatos and then a relocate in with the Husker. And the problem is the rest of LGD were not prepared to fight that. And then when your Axe dies, Axe is your initiation, outside of maybe like a really well-placed Echo Stomp. But the Axe is the thing that Era's the most scared of, because there's no Culling Blade. He doesn't have to worry about dying in a burst because he can always get Shallow Grave. So Zhao Wei is the hero that kind of can't die if you want to defend.
Bottom lane, this is arguably the biggest issue at the moment for Escape Gaming. Aggressive has had an absolutely clean game. It is going to be this Morphling that's going to transcend this absolute beast of a late game if it does get there. We're still on very, very early days, 20 minutes in. I mean, LGD, they certainly do have the answers. If Escape Gaming mess up, it could start to get very, very painful for them very, very quickly.
But once
the heroes that LGD have.
The shotgun comes out on the Morphling, and all of a sudden your IO and your Dazzle are very susceptible to just getting blown up. And the thing about Morphling in this game is you don't really have the burst damage to kill him. And he can very easily just shotgun somebody and go to the replicate and be out of the fight. You know, you get the one pick, you force Escape Gaming back because they're down to support.
Well, Era's coming across here. Radiant did just scan it. They know that LGD's in the neighborhood, but Era, he doesn't seem to care. He wants to get the use of this Aegis, waltzing in, forcing LGD to just scatter. And Quaifa, he gets the combo off on 10-man wide. They'll take a free kill. And again, it's just this bravado of Escape Gaming not being scared at all of LGD's lineup at this stage of the game. And getting away with plays like this, which start with Era just effectively walking into a 4-man smoke from LGD. And
well, they scanned. They scanned, so they knew they were there.
Yeah.
And knowing the timing of the Aegis, like you mentioned, they just want to try to brute force it as much as they can, because they know that the later the game goes, the harder it's going to be to play against the Morphling, because when the shotgun comes out again, it's all about the supports being able to stay alive, and they don't have the items right now to live through a shotgun combo. Like, maybe Yapsor does, but Cinder can almost certainly die.
Zhao Wei jumping in onto Era. Era falling low, but he's got the backup of his team. Still just standing strong. Aegis is still there. It's going to be interesting to see when that does expire, as it could be relatively soon. Escape Gaming keeping themselves topped up, fueled up, and Era knows he can come back in. Do a significant amount of damage to this tier 3 tower, now below about a third health.
Aegis is going to be down very soon. Escape are going to just go ahead and back out. It's the right play. LGD with the warding to see the retreat path because they want to try to get some kind of pick. Yep, there goes the Aegis. And very well timed from Escape. Clean. They didn't lose anything. They're just going to back out. Very calm and collected play here. But again, as we mentioned, LGD, the more items they get, the scarier it's going to become. 500 gold or less right now for aggressive to finish up that Ethereal Blade, and then your supports are going to start having to be very concerned. Although I guess you could also argue that, you know, Kezu's getting very close to that Solar Crest, or if he wants to finish up the Guardian Greaves, he can do that as well. Either item increases the high ground potential of the Huskar by a tremendous amount. Because he can just freely build into anything that gives him health to protect against burst, and then the Solar Crest armor and evasion will allow him to just hit the tower. I mean, this is standard Huskar strategy stuff for sure, but they still have everything they need pretty much to try to high ground. They might want to try to fight around Roshan. It's a tricky proposition though, because the item timing from LGD is going to kind of sink in, and they're going to lose their courier.
That's a free courier for aggressive. Picks up an E-Blade, picks up the blood of the courier as well.
Yeah, the warding from LGD has been very good this game. It spotted out a lot of movement from Escape.
As you said, it is going to be interesting to see what Kezu goes for out of all these options.
I think,
is he still holding on to? I mean, does he just say, "I'll get myself a Blink Dagger," or is Solar Crest and Greaves just so much more useful?
Solar Crest and Greaves are what the lineup needs. Because if, say for instance, you get Orchid cast on you by maybe, you kind of want the Dispel with the Greaves. It gives you bonus armor when you're low and the extra health regen for a Huskar, which is obviously great. And then the Solar Crest just gives you more effective HP against physical damage, which is what you want when you're tanking a tier 3 tower. So it's all just very synergistic with the heroes that they have. I mean, a Blink is never really bad, in my opinion, because it might catch them off guard, and sometimes all it takes is one good fight and a black hole that's well placed to be able to end the game. But I feel like Banana and his positioning this game, he's never really put himself in harm's way, and one Spirit Stomp can just be like, oh, well, my black hole's just useless now.
I mean, at this point as well, is there the potential that Escape Gaming do just wait for that Roshan to come back up and so they can get the Aegis back on Era before they go for anything aggressive again?
I think it's the safest way to play it because they've had map control for a while.
Yeah.
Like, you can see that LGD are playing around them. They're not, like, making their own plays anymore.
Just look at this, like, ward from Escape Gaming. Yeah. They've seen it.
They saw the smoke.
They saw the smoke.
This is a very, very hard smoke to execute when you pretty much...
Everyone's like, let's get ourselves back to base, boys.
I'm actually kind of surprised that wasn't...
back.
I'm surprised that wasn't sentryed, but they sentryed on the wrong side, right? They sentryed the top side of their base instead of the bottom, so they're just unfortunately not gonna find anything from this.
It depends how deep they go. If they want to jump up here,
I mean, if they somehow catch Era after that smoke, I would be very surprised. Okay, here we go. He's gonna be fine.
Well, they'll get a ward down at least able to achieve something with a smoke, but certainly not what LGD would have set out to do so with this full 5-man movement. Which did kind of happen where Skagen were able to find a little bit, arguably not a lot, because they were playing very, very safe and reserved, and they did back right up to the base, the full team, and away from the lanes.
I mean, the important thing is they get vision down while they're smoked. Like, I think they got the very aggressive ward right outside of Escape Gaming's base. So they're going to see at least some movement. They know that Escape are out of the map right now for sure. And Roshan is the name of the game here.
Yeah. Just under a minute and a half before we're going to see Roche back on the map. And one of these guys will go for it. Zhao 8 being blocked in. Move your goddamn illusion, sir! Pings it out!
Dude, he's got a Blink Dagger. He's fine.
Being blocked in there by aggressive. He's too focused on farming at the moment, and understandably so. It's one of the things that really could allow LGD to punch back. And as we can see, he is still at the top. I mean, with this kind of build, what does he need to get? Lincoln's E-Blade? Are we going to continue to see standard stuff on this kind of shotgun build from Morphling, or anything else that you feel he needs to change as this goes late against Escape?
I feel like this is one of those games where you probably just want to go standard like Scotty Manta. Yeah. Or Manta Scotty, obviously. You get the Yasha at the very least because Morphling is just naturally a super slow hero. And having the bonus movement speed, obviously good synergy with the Agi, with the E-Blade and whatnot, so... Yeah, I'm looking at a completely standard Morph build. Maybe he buys BKB at some point, because I know the Chinese teams who play Morphling just love their BKB on that hero for whatever reason, but...
Oh, free courier.
Yeah,
oh, it's still at the Yasha on! Oh dear! Banana! He bananaed that one up. He just had the courier come out, I think, to deliver him some wards or something, and it had the Yash on as well. Alright, rip Yasha, but at the same time, with this amount of pace, the courier could very well be back up before we see any kind of big action kickoff.
Well, Roshan's up.
Yeah, this is true. Roshan is there.
I don't know if Yasha is like game breaking for their team.
It's true. That movement speed though.
It does kind of suck because it makes his E-Blade stronger. So aggressive not having that is going to be a little bit annoying. I don't even think they're going to make it in time. Or actually the other Titan's there. Yeah, Banana's in the right spot, so he should be able to delay.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
At the same time, they've got to be aware of this. Aggressive's like, alright boys, I'll take you tier 3.
Yeah, he's doing the right thing. He knows that fighting 5v5 is very difficult. He is going to go to his replicate now though, so this is LGD is 5, and they're isolating Kezu. He is so screwed right now.
Yeah, Kezu. He's going to be the one to pay the price here. He is making the work for it. I mean, they lose Enigma, but the space is there, and they do get the Roshan and Aegis onto Era.
I think the problem is they're going to lose the map control because Kezu's dead. So basically, when you kill Roshan, you want to be able to walk down a lane and be able to get something from that. Oh, are they going to lose Era as well? That way it's thinking about going in here.
And maybe they could have as well.
The ward's spotting the rest of the team, so he knows the Yapzor is there with the relocate. It's just too much of a risk for Xiao Wei to want to drop in on that. I mean, if they do that, maybe they kill Yapzor, because for sure Era gets relocated out, and then we kill the IO. But just not wanting to take the risk.
Well, I mean, 28 minutes in, we certainly said at the start of this one, we could see LGD outclassing Escape Gaming, or we could see something very impressive, but this is, yeah, absolutely. This is, I mean, there's so many games going on, it's hard to tell how this compares to the other 3 going on at the moment, but for you guys and girls, of course, watching this stream, I hope you're enjoying this one as much as we are.
The thing is, there's a difference between a high kill game, where it's just really action-packed, like, you know, you think the Wing series, that was one of the first series of the day. Oh, Quake was spotted here.
Oh, he's got the sentry down, he's going to just waltz out of the range of it. Bit of invis on invis action. Oh, okay, he goes back in, he wants to kill an Elder Titan, he's not going to get it though. A little bit of the greed there from Quake for punishing him.
His team was almost there in time.
Ara's still toying with the idea of jumping back in by the looks of it. He's going to start to try and move back, and indeed aggressive. He's going to be able to find himself at tier 3. The morph thing that we always felt was going to become an issue is certainly reaching that stage, and now the call on Terror, but they relocate from Yapzor just in time to bring him out. Yapzor. Wait,
do they even have any detection for him? Because he has a Glimmer Cape.
Oh, he does. They do have a call. They got the sentry down.
Okay, yeah, he's dead. MMY there just in time. That is, like, LGD are pretty much playing this exactly how they need to. They're abusing the mobility of their heroes, and as soon as Quakebush shows that on the map, Aggressive is all of a sudden like, I can pretty much do whatever I want because I'm a Morphling.
Working fantastically here.
Eventually, there's going to come a point where those tier 3s are going to die. Like, they actually lost their tier 3 bottom.
Yeah.
So now the Raxes are exposed, which means every time they make this play where they're moving across the map and they don't have somebody sitting in base, they're going to be taking sustained damage it's irreparable. Like, once you lose the Rax, it's gone. It's never going to come back. So you need Escape to actually get some kind of objective by moving across the map and try to get the lanes pushed out in a way where their lineup can reach its full potential. But that's really hard, right? Because they don't have the wave clear that LGD have.
No,
like the Tiny can stun toss the wave, sure, but he doesn't have Aghanims. And Era is a Huskar. Huskar is not a wave pushing hero.
Well, we're talking about wave clear and such. What do you think about maybe his build here? So he goes for the Orchid, then into the Shadow Blade, and now he's just come back and he's finished off an Aghanims.
No, the Aghanims is strong, for sure. You want spam as LGD. You want to stop the 5-man from being able to get to your base, and the best ways to do that is either you gank them before they get to your base, which some teams like to do. Obviously, LGD, we're not feeling confident fighting into just the sheer sustain and the mech and the black hole. So their plan is, we're going to push out every wave because we have insane wave clear, and we're going to force Escape back to their base a million times to the point where we just have more farm than them, and we carry the gold better in the ultra late game. Just the way that Quake has built his hero, he wants to go for this mid-game space-creating Tiny, where he's setting up the relocate ganks, and he's not building for the ultra late because he obviously doesn't have Aghanims. So LGD's game plan is not really to fight unless they absolutely have to, and if Escape Gaming get Roshan, which they obviously did, we just delay the game as much as we can by split pushing. Like, look at their positioning on the map. 2 heroes top, 1 hero bottom. They have no intention of letting Escape get to their base without like making some other issue elsewhere.
Yeah. Absolutely. Escape Gaming just need to... They need to be able to do something incredibly damaging to the base in the same time that LGD are able to even think about continuing the split, but they're going to continue to do that. You know, Era's pummeling in on mid. At the same time, Aggressive is looking for that top push. The disruption onto Era, holding him still for the time being, and now the jumping from Shower. They've caught out the Huskar, but in fact it's Yao take the superior amount of damage here. Had to get himself back, maybe. Still trying to do his best to kite up Era. The stomp comes through, but space created. Aggressive, he's taking the top racks from Escape Gaming. Escape Gaming, they need to find some sort of a trade. Era looking to finish up the melee racks, but still LGD, they're just holding him back, and Aggressive, he's having the time of his life on his own. They will finish up the melee racks. They do get themselves some racks in return, but indeed Aggressive, he's just not stopping. He's looking for more. He's going to be able to take a second melee rack from the side of Escape Gaming, and Aggressive, he says, all right, bye, boys, zips his pants back up, job's done. He's done all he's need to, and this Morphling is causing so many issues for Escape Gaming, and it could be the demise of them.
This is the biggest issue that Escape have, is they don't have anything to kill Morphling. Their heroes, they need to bring like 3 or 4 plus to make Aggressive say, okay, maybe I should back. And that's just how LGD can play. I mean, the nice thing is, he actually backed, so now he's in his base.
Oh, jumping in, Era, at the back of a Quaker, the stomps there, Yapso actually with a relocate out, and now Quaker, he's all on his own, bursted down, he's gone, maybe he's jumping forward, looking for more, Cinder, and he's been silenced. Lose a second, Kezu has to TP out, and now Yapso is coming back in on his own. He knows that this is the end of his own life as well. His 3 heroes down on Escape Gaming, and the heat has certainly been turned up by LGD.
This is the rock, paper, scissors that is Dota. A 5-man loses to split push. It's basically one of the how do I word this? It's one of the concepts that you learn first when you're drafting and when you're playing as a team, is that split push eventually will win because you're never going to be able to get to the base without taking some damage in return. And the lack of wave clear that Escape has at this stage, like, it's only 34 minutes in, but the fact is Aggressive hasn't died a single time. So he's got BKB, he's got Manta. They can just go all in and fight. And because of the fact that Escape are all in their base, and this is a very hard defense to them.
Absolutely, and you can see Escape Gaming trying to do their best here in the mid to protect this set of racks that they've got, because Aggressive, he's going to look to try and finish off the ranged racks. Now jumping forward, Arrow with the blink. Not going to be able to get the ult off onto Aggressive. They will hold the base in the middle. They really need to come up with an altered game plan, because their original one is starting to fall apart. As you said, LGD, they've got the counter to it.
LGD just understood how Escape had to play the game. And they just abused the fact that they had nothing to kill Morphling.
They smoke up it again, maybe just waltzes in with a silver edge. And it's
I guess
take it off Escape.
If you were to point out one thing that Escape maybe should have done, is just say, screw having Aegis for the push, we just need to end the game. Like, imagine if the first or second Roshan, instead of backing, they just decided to go all in. You know, just say, all right, we're gonna push now. Because at that stage in the game, the Morphling kills the buildings a lot slower due to having less items. Because now Aggressive has like the Keyblade finish, he has the Manta style finish, the BKB is done. And at this stage, he does so much damage to the base that even by himself, he can push at a comparable speed to Escape, because there's realistically only 1 or 2 heroes from Escape hitting the tower at any given time. And the Huskar does not do as much right-click DPS as the Morphling. It just doesn't happen.
Era looking to jump in onto Aggressive, but immediately the BKB reaction at the same time. Cinera caught out by the storm. Kezu starting to move forward. Can he find an opening for the black hole? It's not going to be there because Aggressive wanted Kezu to back. Cinera's had to drop the grave on the Enigma here. So Era, he doesn't care. He doesn't need no grave. He's jumping in on 10 on wide. The Glimmer Cape comes out, but they've already lost Cinder, and Quaker will be able to burst down the Shadow Demon. Gemmo jumps in with a call. Solid Wave as well takes down Kezu. Era stops up Yapso, and Era in a lot of trouble. Maybe he's looking to focus down the IO. He's going to be able to find the kill. Era, he's going to hope for some kind of big cleanup, but it's not going to happen as he gets cleaned up himself. LGD finding the triple kill for maybe, taking down 4. They did lose 2, but what does it matter? They just found a team wipe, and GG is called. LGD pull it together at the end. Aggressive's Morphling solid throughout, and at the end of the day, it was the answer to what Escape Gaming wanted to do. There were kind of shines of hope and brilliance at the start for Escape, but at the end of the day, it just comes down to the fact that LGD, they were ready for this. They've seen this before.
In reality, they had to play a faster game. They let the Morphling get too much before they decided to try to go high ground. And I understand, like, going into this as Escape, you respect LGD a tremendous amount. Like a Zhao 8 legendary captain, they have phenomenal players on their team. I think to a degree, Escape maybe respected them too much.